Time Doctor. My name is Prashina, and
My name is Calvin, and we are delighted to be your hosts today. Prashina and I are remote work rock stars, as we like to call ourselves here at Time Doctor. We're also remote work advocates. We work remotely, and we are client success managers, customer success managers, if you want to call that, here at Time Doctor. And we are both based in South Africa, so that's where we're streaming to you live from. Prashina is in the north in Pretoria, and I am in the south in Worcester. And yeah, it's great to have you with us. Over to you, Prashina. Why don't you say the rest?
thank you, Calvin. Well, we're super excited to find out where exactly you're joining us from as well. So let's just take a moment and meet one another. Let us know in the chat box where exactly you're joining us from.
That would be
Well,
exciting to know.
yep, definitely. And we'll give you a couple more seconds. Dum, 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 dum. Okay, I guess for now we're remaining anonymous, so we'll use our other data throughout this webinar to try and figure it out. Let's have a little bit of fun with it. What do you say, Calvin?
Yeah, I see we've got one person who has said it's Yummy from India. Welcome, Yummy. Great to have you with us. Hope you're having a great evening so far, because I know it's evening for you guys. Who's next? Oh, Mexico in the house.
Liliana,
Thank you.
yes, welcome. Oh, we have a Florida. Welcome, Samantha. Thank you guys so much. Oh,
We have
with
Juan
Juan
from
from
Colombia,
Colombia.
Jessica from the Philippines. For her,
I
great,
love how
great.
interactive everyone is.
Yeah, and they're from all over the world, which is just amazing. So thanks, guys, for joining, and thank you for letting us know where you're from. And yeah, Prashina, why don't you tell everybody what's coming up in what they can expect in the next few minutes?
Thanks, Calvin. So today we will discover how to infuse the essence of the Zen philosophy into every corner, fostering an atmosphere of serenity that enhances creativity, communication, and collaboration. Let's not only reimagine work, but also redefine our relationship with it. Now, let's jump ahead and look at a couple of housekeeping rules. Firstly, I'd like to remind you that all of your mics are muted, but we encourage you to give us feedback and ask questions throughout this webinar. Please use the chat box to do so, and Calvin and I have a dedicated session in which we will be addressing all of these questions for you. Right, now let's look at what exactly is in store for you today. In section 1, we're going to be covering exactly what is a Workday Zen with Time Doctor. In section 2, we are going to be covering certain metrics and features, as well as a live demonstration done by Calvin of how you can go about best utilizing these features. So let's kick it away without further ado. Right, so just to remind you that Time Doctor offers multiple features in which these assist managers and users gain insight into how they allocate their time and where exactly are they spending their time. So insights at every corner. But what is exactly a Workday Zen and how do we connect the two? Well, a Workday Zen, in plain Time Doctor's terminology, is some type of an environment where you'll experience balance, serenity, and purposefulness. It's a type of environment that's going to allow you to be able to relax and enjoy everything. This represents productivity in the work environment. So the atmosphere at the end of the day between you and your teams is cool, calm, and everybody's experiencing that not only around you, but you yourself. Why is it that you need the Workday Zen? Well, there are many challenges in today's lifestyle, and one of them that we'd like to address is the perfect work life balance. That's an issue that we're all facing currently because let's face it, we love our work and we're thriving at it. Somehow, some way, we'll enjoy more tasks than others, but do we have clear visibility on that? No. So, in today's world, things like micromanaging, a lack of transparency, where is the time going on time consuming tasks, and how exactly is productivity being hindered in the team? Well, Time Doctor Workday Zen offers you the exact solution for this. So you can sit back and look at these analytics. But let's focus on the exact benefits of why exactly you need a Workday Zen. Now, the first benefit that we have is tranquility in leadership. Rest assured that your team is handling their tasks, they staying aligned within the specific deadline you have set. Redirect your efforts more towards leadership rather than excessive supervision. This creates the atmosphere of being tranquil and composed in your work environment. For everybody in the team, of course, at the end of the day, nobody wants to be playing policeman or checking over your team's shoulders. So, with that being said, the first benefit mitigates that directly. Let's move on to the second benefit. The second benefit is comprehensive visibility, which is a big one for our managers. So you can experience the comfort of having clear visibility of exactly what your teams are doing. This means, regardless of where they're working, how they're working, and what exactly they're working on, you'll have that visibility at all times. This will encourage the environment or the atmosphere between your teams to have respect for one another, to encourage the trust relationship, to take accountability. And that's a big one because the world moves around if we take accountability. Which brings me to our third benefit, which is intelligent time management. Now, how many of us can actually say that we have a free amount of time during the day? Me, for one, not really. I always, find things to do. But how exactly am I keeping track of this? You can experience the comfort of having a clear visibility of exactly what your team is doing and take that back with you. Now you encourage the whole atmosphere to be totally different from going into the intricate task monitoring and focusing on what projects you're dealing with compared to now moving on to a more strategic, more calm, more creative innovations for the future. So, different directions, different perspectives, all in a sense of you having comfort. And the last benefit that we have is empowered accountability. So, we are basically trying to build a workforce atmosphere that has recognition and gratitude. So, Time Doctor gives you that opportunity to be able to recognize your top performers and congratulate them and reward them. Whereas it also gives you that opportunity to recognize your outliers who are not performing as well as they're supposed to and need your attention. So, very quickly, you can direct your resources to something that takes priority. And these were our four benefits. Now, I'd like to ask you, with all of the benefits we've just discussed, I'm going to jump into a poll. Which of these benefits suits your team the most? Please use the chat box to answer. So, the first answer being, or the option A would be tranquility, which was once again creating that serene harmony within your teams. Welcome back, Calvin. Thank you for joining me on screen for the poll. I
No
was
problem.
just telling Awesome. I was just telling everybody about the options once again in terms of the benefits we just discussed. So, like we said, option A is tranquility, option B is visibility, option T, intelligent time management, and option D, accountability. Which one do you think our audience is going to go towards today, Calvin?
It's a tough one because I mean all of those benefits are amazing, But if I have to pick one for myself personally, I would say C, intelligent time management, because you can't get time back, right? So you need to manage your time, and for me, managing my time during the day makes my day easier and more comfortable. So, but let's see what everybody else says. What would your choice be, Prashina?
I think for myself personally, Calvin, I would also go with C because, intelligent time management is a big thing because, like I said, I like to keep busy, but you want to stay productive in your entire busy schedule, as we sort like to call it. So, audience, we'd give you a couple more seconds, put in your answers. There we go. And the results are released. Well, Calvin,
Fantastic.
it looks
Oh,
like we have a tie between A and D.
yeah, it looks like it's an even spread, which goes to show. I mean, it's a great balance of people that we have in the room, and in the chat there you'll see Rhiannon. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Said E, all of the above. So it's all of these benefits. That's why they call benefits, I guess. You know what I mean? So thanks for sharing and thanks for answering.
Fantastic. Well, over to you, Calvin. Please take us through the next section.
Fantastic. Thanks, Prashina. So we're diving into part two, or section two, as you call it, where we'll take a closer look at Time Doctor's features, or the features that we feel can add some zen to your workday, just make your workday even better, and less stress free and all of those things. So I will, as we mentioned in the beginning, we'll dive into the dashboard to share a little bit of things live. But I'm going to obviously go through a couple of slides just to show you some other things. So yeah, let me know if you, in the chat, by giving me a thumbs up or a wave or something. Let us know that you're still okay, you're still with us, as I go through this next section. Okay, so first of all, the four features that we feel can help add to your zen to your day are these on your screen. So automated time tracking, email notifications, work schedules and attendance, as well as screencasts. So those are the four features that I'm going to go through, and just explain to you a little bit more in detail why, first of all, we say that, and secondly, show it a little bit. So, thank you everybody for giving your thumbs up. Thank you, and glad that you are still with us and excited. So, the first thing is your desktop application, right? So, if you have the interactive version of Time Doctor, you will be very much aware of what this screen is. And we are looking at the settings screen on the desktop application. Now, with Time Doctor's automated time tracking, you can enjoy hands-free time management, and our software effortlessly records work hours, projects, and tasks, enabling a stress-free monitoring, and obviously increasing your productivity. Because when you're less stressed, you can be more productive, right? And you can track time automatically when you start your day by enabling the auto start tracking setting in the desktop app settings. So as you can see, if we look at the screen, this is where we are now. And there's that box. So at the top, it says notify when tracking starts. So as soon as you start tracking, you'll get a notification that you started tracking. But the point I was speaking towards was auto start tracking each day. So you can check this box, and it will start automatically at the first computer usage after 5 a.m. in the morning in your time zone. All right, as long as you're signed in. So as long as you're signed into the app, it will track as soon as you make movement. But the one at the bottom, launch at sign in. So when you log in, if that is checked, as soon as you sign into your computer, it will launch the app, which means that you're logged in, you're signed in, and then all of the rest will come into play. So that's one way of making your day a little bit stress free, knowing that your tracking is always going to happen. And if you're like me, you like reminders, because I can be forgetful at times, and so I like to set reminders. So we also allow you to set reminders, so that you can remember certain things. So, for example, I take a break during the day, so there's some period of inactivity. I go grab a cup of coffee or something, and then I come back and I start working. but I forget to press start on my tracker. So after 5 minutes, because I've set mine to 5 minutes, after 5 minutes, I'll get a reminder that will say, "Would you like to continue working, or were you working?" Something to that effect, and it will pop up in my face, and I'll be able to realize that I haven't started tracking. So again, making it stress free, making them understand that, hey, we're people, we forget stuff, and you want to make sure that you're tracking all the time. So use these things to make your day a little bit zen like, less stress free, and let everything just automate as we go through. Okay, so that's it for the slides, the slide deck. I'm done with that. We're gonna get into diving into the platform, and we'll take a look at the other apps, or the other features, I should say, that I mentioned. So here we go. So if you once again, if you have the desktop, well, not the desktop, if you have the interactive version, you will know this screen. Okay, so this is a dashboard from a team view. So you're able to see this, especially as a manager, as an admin, or even as an owner, you're able to see the team dashboard. This is set for today, for just a team that I selected. And the first feature that we're going to speak about is obviously email notifications. Okay, so where you would find email notifications, and we'll work through that and see how does this add Zen to my day? How does this make my day more Zen like? Okay, so if we click on settings and you go down, you'll see email notifications. Okay, you click on that, you will find that there are two types of email notifications that we have. One is real time, one is daily. Okay, so those are the two types of email notifications. The difference between the two is quite simple to explain, right? Your daily email notifications are things that are emails that you'll receive every day, right? In the morning, generally, it's usually before your shift starts, you will get an email that will give you all the information that you set up, which I'll show you in a second, for what happened the day before. Okay, your real time notifications are things that you get immediately. So you need to know stuff immediately. You will get an email immediately notifying you of that fact. Okay, so let's dive in. We're going to create two email notifications, one of each, right now in this session. So obviously you'll click on create daily. So if you haven't created any email notifications, you will be faced with that previous screen. And we're going to say test daily, right? Because that's what we're doing today. Uh, Type is daily. We're working on a daily notification. And then the next step, your conditions are extremely important, because you can customize these alerts based on the parameters that we've set, and obviously for what works for you, what you want to manage, and what you want to know, what information you want to know about on a daily basis. So it kind of makes your day a little bit stress free, because these things that we'll create now prevents you from having to go and dig deep into reports every single day to get the information that you need. So we've got time editing alerts, we've got productivity alerts, we've got tracking alerts, all of those kind of things we've got here, and this is what you can set up. So today I'm going to choose idle minutes percentage per day. Right. So if I'm managing a team, and we got a lot of people that use this metric as well. You're managing a team, and you want to make sure, or you would like to be notified if there's a certain benchmark or a certain number of or percentage that is greater, you want to know about. So I would say greater than 40% for this example. So I want to be notified if any of the members of my team, right, have idle minutes for the day, an idle minute percentage for the day greater than 40%. Okay, obviously this varies depending on role. We're not going to get into that today, but you can choose obviously for what days you want. So we don't work on weekends, so it's Monday to Friday, and I want to monitor everybody. You can choose groups or specific people, or you can just choose everybody, and that will include anybody that you add in going forward. And then you click on create, and then you've immediately created that email notification. Okay, so that's your daily email notification done. Real time happens exactly the same, just it has different parameters, different conditions. So the conditions here are time editing alerts, and obviously shift adherence and work adherence alerts. because these are things I believe, and for me personally, as a manager of a team, I would want to know these things immediately, because if someone didn't start working, I need to be on top of that immediately so I can make sure that there's someone to cover that shift. Or they didn't start the shift for whatever reason, I need to know, and if I need to make changes, I can get on top of it. So again, stress-free day, because you don't want to find out about this 2 days later, 3 days later, that hey, there's been a mix-up in shifts. Okay, so I gonna set manual time, because I would want to know, for me as a manager, it might be a concern for me if my users are adding more than an hour of manual time in a day, because I'd want to know why, what are the specific reasons about that, and I'd like to know that immediately. So again, I'll create that email notification, and then we're good to go. Right. Before I move on from here, something that we've recently added and recently enjoyed, or added to the product, and I feel is a game changer, is this little button here, which allows you to toggle on and off your notifications. Why do I say it's a game changer? I'll give you an example. I have a client, and she once this is how she manages a team. She's got quite a big team. I think there are over 150 people in her team, and she wants to manage it this way. So she has created email notifications for almost every parameter, almost every condition in daily, as well as in real time. If not all, then almost all, right? And so obviously that means she gets a bunch of emails every day. Okay, so not a problem when she's at work every day and she's managing and she's looking through the emails in the morning or in real time. She's able to manage it. But she goes on leave, right? She takes a couple of weeks off, or a week off, and when she comes back, all of these emails have been coming in every single day, and it kind of clogs up her inbox, and she can't really get to the detail that she needs once she comes back from leave. So now she has the ability to disable the daily and the real time, so those emails won't come through for that period, and then when she comes back she can enable it again and pick up where she left off. All right. So email notifications is done. The next one that we'll talk about is your time and attendance, or your work schedules and attendance. Okay, so we'll stay with settings, and we will scroll a little bit further down to work schedules. Now the work schedules just allows you to obviously manage your day better, manage your day a little bit easier, knowing that your shifts are set up in your dashboard. You know exactly what's happening. And I've just taken a demo and put it together. I previously populated this a little bit earlier, but I'll show you exactly how easy it is to populate. You can click on add schedules, and we've done a lot of the work for you already. So again, making your day stress free, right? You can pick the range over here. So the date range, if you want to include weekends, you can include weekends, and then you download the CSV. Now the CSV will look something similar to this on the right here. All you need to do is just put in the times. So whether it's 9 to 5, 9 to 6, whatever the time slots are for the shifts, you input that in. Once you've done that, you upload the CSV. And once you've uploaded the CSV, it will populate like this for the time period that you selected. Okay. If you need to edit one or two people, and you don't need to download the whole CSV again and redo everything, you can click on that edit button, make the changes that are necessary, click save, and you're back in business. Okay, and so that's what it looks like when you're setting it up. If you want to go to that report and manage it and see it differently, you can click on attendance report. It will take you directly to it, or you can go to the report section and you can click on attendance. Okay, right. And basically what will happen is that will populate with your shifts, and you'll be able to see if someone was late, how long they were late for, if they're currently working on their shift, all of these kind of things. If someone was absent, there'll be it'll populate there that they were absent because they didn't work at all, or if they worked half the time that they were supposed to, it will populate all of that. Okay. So again, you can choose to see only users with shifts. You can choose to see those that are partially absent, late, etc. So you can basically manage this how you want to manage it. If you want to export it, you have the ability to export it. So this again helps you manage not only your day, but also helps you manage the work-life balance of your team, which is very, very important, right? You want to make sure your team aren't getting burned out by working too many hours or not adhering to the shifts that you've set up for them. So great way to have a look at it and manage it that way. All right. That's time and chance. You still with me? All right. If you're still with me, give me a Y in the chat if you're still with me this time around. As we move on to the screencast, I see there are some questions coming through already in the chat. Remember, you can also use the Q&A section, and we'll get to that just after I'm done. We'll get to answer some of your questions. Or if not, if we have time, we'd love to answer all of them actually. So, screencast is coming up. Thank you. Screencast is coming up, and we are going to first start here with users, right? The user screen is important for what I'm going to tell you about next up. Okay, so on the user screen, you'll see the first block says screencasts. Okay, so you have the ability to choose when you want screencasts to be taken, right? So you can tweak this to how you want it to be. And so the reason why we say screencasts help you add sort of zen to your day is you can stay productive whilst building a calm work environment. Okay. And it's important that because this helps you boost trust and freedom. Because when your team feels trusted, they know there's just some transparency there, there's a lot more freedom. They will feel empowered, they'll feel focused, and they'll feel even more motivated because of this respectful approach to transparency. Because remember, if your screencasts are activated, the user themselves can see the screencasts being taken as well. So you can set the parameters, you can choose whether you want it to be 3 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or if you're on the premium plan, you can have a continuous video that takes it in 3 minute chunks. Okay, so those are the options that you have. If it is on, you also have the ability to blur them. So not only can you tweak how often screencasts are taken to fit your team style, you can choose to blur or unblur because it's all about making productivity tracking work just the way you like it. All right. So blurring just provides a general overview of on-screen activity while still respecting privacy. Okay, because you have departments, you have people in your team that work with sensitive information or confidential information. Could be the finance department, it could be the HR department, and you don't want that sensitive information being able to be viewed by those that have access to them. So you can do that. And once you've set that, you can click on the screencasts tab, okay, which is just above there. And this is where you'll be able to see the screencasts for the particular time. So currently it's today. You can choose it weekly, monthly, or you can set a date range. And you will be able to view what's going on in your team over here. Okay. Question that we get asked a lot, and I'm going to see if we have one that I can show you here, is if you have more than if someone has more than one monitor, they're working with more than one monitor, will screencasts be taken? The answer is yes. So as you can see down here, these are two monitors and both screencasts are being shot. So if someone is using two monitors, you'll be able to manage that effectively. Even if they've got three, you'll be able to see all of that effectively. Okay, if it's blurred, like I said, you'll still be able to see the on-screen activity without really seeing too much detail. And the last thing is you have the option to delete screencasts. So if there is a sensitive screencast that maybe came through and someone is concerned about it, you can check this box here, and you'll be able to delete the screencast if needed. All right. So just helps your team understand that there's transparency, there's freedom. They're able to delete something if they need it, and that's pretty much it from me. So I'm going to stop sharing. I think Prashina is going to join me on screen shortly, and we will take your questions, which is generally one of my favorite parts of the webinar is answering people's questions. And we have a bunch of questions to get through. And I would like to address, Prashina, if it's okay, whether it's you or me, there were some questions that came through in the chat, actually. So maybe we can take those questions first, and then we can move into the actual Q&A. How does that sound?
That sounds fantastic, Calvin. Let's go for it.
All right. So there's a question here from Antonio. It says, I've recently noticed an unusual activity report in my experimental reports. What is that? Antonio, that is a great question. What is it? We are here to show you that today, or answer that question for you. Basically, I, I'll share my screen again because it's a great way for me to show you exactly what it is, where it is. But the unusual activity report is a report that, I wouldn't say it's new to Time Doctor. We've had it for a while, but it was usually only available on request by specific clients. But now, because of the demand for it, and how it just adds to the value that Time Doctor brings, we have our product team has decided to put it in the dashboard, and it is available there for a period of 2 months for everybody. And then thereafter that, it's available. If you're on the premium plan, you'll have access to that. So let me show you exactly where it is for those that don't know, and want to have a look. So again, as Antonio mentioned, it's under reports. It says experimental reports. So it's designed to track any unusual activity. So it could be people who are using mouse clickers, or program something in so that their keyboard moves, so that they don't fall into the idle time metrics, but that is seen as unusual activity for a human. So we'll pick up all of that, we'll put it in a report for you, and you're able to view it accordingly. There's a whole bunch of data that you can have a look at. So if you need help understanding this, please reach out to us. We'll give you some details at the end of how you can do that. But that is what the unusual activity report is, and it's available right now for everybody. Thanks for your question. Over to you, Prashina.
Thanks, Calvin. I just want to add that our support team jumped on it before you could, and they've added the link in the chat. So, everybody, please click on the link. It gives you more information, a little bit more understanding. And as Calvin said, if you're not satisfied, reach out to us, and we'll be more than happy to assist you. So our next question in the chat box is from Divyanshu, and it reads, if I have my email open on one screen and I'm working on another, then which screen will the time be captured for? So the time will be captured for the active screen. So if your email is open on one screen, but you have activity going on screen number two, for example, a communication medium, the time on the communication medium is captured at that point because you actively working on that specific task or activity for that time being. So that's how Time Doctor goes. Wherever you go, Time Doctor goes with you. Over to you, Calvin, for the next one.
Yeah, awesome. We'll stick here because there's another question from Liliana. I think from Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. Where can I find the attendance report? Okay, so the attendance report will be under the report section. I can demonstrate that again since we're here. I'm enjoying doing this. Can you tell?
Yes.
All right. So you click on reports, and that is where your attendance report is. So everything that you've input beforehand will be here, and you can select groups, you can select users depending on who's been added to the attendance report. But just go to your report section and click on attendance, and you will find that there. All right. Awesome. Thank you for your question, though. Let's move on to the ones that were placed in the Q and A, Prashina. If you want, you can take the first one.
Thank you. So the first one reads, can I set a reminder to be reminded of starting the timer? So great question. Thank you so much. In your desktop application, as Calvin has demoed, earlier on a couple of minutes ago, under your tracking section, there is a section or an option for you to enable which notifies you when tracking starts. So this is automatically, even if the tracker starts automatically, if you've got the other option of auto start tracking selected, this will still notify you. So after present pause, or at the start of each day, this reminder will pop up and you will be notified that you're currently tracking. I hope that addresses your question. Over to you, Calvin.
Fantastic. I'll take this one. It says, is there a learning curve for teams newly introduced to Time Doctor, right? And if so, how can they navigate it? Um, I wouldn't say there's a specific learning curve that you can navigate at this moment. I know in the future we're working on, kind of like a an online school, or if you want to call it, that you can use. But we do have a help center that's got a lot of information. We do have our website. We'll give you more information to that towards the end of how you can access that. But everybody who signs up for Time Doctor, will always have assistance. For some, it will be in the form of a client success manager who will create an onboarding plan for you and go through training of your admins, of your managers, of your regular users, and construct all of that and set up sort of an onboarding plan for you, and stick with you throughout the process. And obviously, as you grow and progress with us, that your CSM, your client success manager, will continue with you. We also have a support team that is always available to assist you with any questions you have and navigating that journey with you. So all you have to do is ask. And if you have a customer success manager, they can guide you. And if you don't, our support team can guide you or introduce you to a customer success manager. But from the time you sign up to throughout your journey, I almost said to the time you leave, but you never want to leave, right? But your entire journey, we will be there to help you navigate through it. But that's a great question. Thank you for asking.
And I'll hop on the next one if that's okay. So, our next question reads, what reports should I use specifically to measure the team's productivity? So, here at Time Doctor, when it comes down to productivity, we highlight two reports in specific. The first report is the activity summary report, and the metrics here to be observed is the idle time metrics. So once again, the idle time is a lack of keyboard or mouse activity for that specific minute. And that's one way of deeming productivity in terms of the activity of the user. The second report that we use in collaboration with the activity summary report is the web and app usage report. Now, this is where we discover productivity by means of the websites and the applications that the team has access. So, are they working productively and using the tools that you've deployed to them? Or perhaps is there a season of Gossip Girl that's out now? I'm not too sure. I'm sorry, I'm not a TV person. Um, so it's those type of examples for us to look forward when deeming the team's productivity. So hand in hand, activity summary report and the web and app usage report. Over to you, Kelvin.
Fantastic. Question: how do the Time Doctor dashboard and the Time Doctor desktop application differ? Um, Quite simple to answer that question, actually. So your desktop app or your dashboard, as you called it, that is the actual console that I demonstrated earlier, which shows you your, if you're an admin or a manager, obviously, or an owner, you will have access to a bunch of things. So your reports, screencasts, the edit time, the approvals, all of those kind of things, your settings, you will have access to that. And it just gives you a wider view of your actual day and your progress. If you are a regular user, there's less things that you have access to, but you still have access to your dashboard, so you can view your own day. So you'll be able to view your screencasts, you'll be able to view how much time you've tracked. If you've added manual time or add breaks, you'll be able to see all of that. Your top apps, your top projects and tasks, you'll be able to see that. So it gives you more viewing or more insights into how your day is going. The desktop application is literally the first slide that I showed in my section, where you start and stop and you choose a task, you choose a project, and you choose a break. That is your desktop application, and that's basically how they differ. Back to you, Prashina, for the last question, I believe.
Yes. And our last question reads, how do the low activity alerts differ from the low productivity alerts? So, a fantastic question. So let's start off with the first one, with the low activity alert. So activity, when we speak about activity, that ties up with my previous question. We speak about the idle time that a user has accumulated. So therefore, the activity alerts will be in related to the idle time. Do you want to know if a person was more than 50% idle for their day? So they're only covering 50% of their day, whereas they're supposed to cover a full set of 8 hours. There's only 4 hours out of those eight that were actually active and actually working, meaning utilizing their keyboard and their mouse. Now let's look at the second part of the question, which is low productivity alert. Now, productivity directly relates to the websites and applications usage report. So if a user is utilizing any unproductive websites or applications, what would be the applicable category for you? So that's how you would go about configuring your alert, exactly in the same manner that Calvin has demoed earlier. And based on that, that specific interval that will be allowed. So perhaps you have a leniency of 10%. So now and again, somebody can access a quick social media site or watch a 5 minute song, etc. Just to give you a quick example, that would be deemed as the productivity alert itself, directly relating to the websites and the application's usage. And there we have it. I believe that's all the time that we have for today's questions. And sadly, that brings us to the end of our session. Um, our Workday Zen webinar with a Time Doctor. So once again, we invite you to transform your chaos into clarity and your disruptions into harmony.
Yeah, and as a leader, you can let Time Doctor just create inner peace, or help you discover inner peace, I should say, and balance, right? And you can feel free to contact your CSM, like I mentioned before, or our support team. Those details are there on the screen. If you have any questions, or you need to know something, or you want to find out more, you can go there for more information. There's also our website, timedoctor.com, which gives you a bunch of things that you can access as well, like the recording of this webinar on demand. So if you missed any bit, maybe you jumped in a bit late and you're like, what were they talking about? It sounded so exciting. It was, but you're not going to miss out on anything. Okay, you can go and get it on demand on our website. You'll very shortly you'll be able to find that. But what I wanted to mention as well, whilst I'm on the website, is we actually have something that's called a beta program, right? And that means that you and all of you that are clients and customers of Time Doctor have the awesome opportunity to be part of that. So what does that entail? That entails being the first to see and test out new and innovative features that we've got a team called the Chainsaw Team. They're just our innovative team. They're coming up with different ideas and different things every single day, and trialing things. So you can be part of that team that gets to test out those features first and have your say. So it's kind of like you're having your say in making Doctor better as we progress through the future, and it's really great. So all you need to do is, the link is in the chat. You just need to click on that link, fill out your details, and then you'll be in, and someone will reach out to you to explain a little bit more. So make sure you get on it, Prashina.
Well, you basically said it, Calvin. I just want to remind everybody that through all of this, remember to take the message home that you are empowered, you have control, and at all points, you can promote this atmosphere of being cool, calm, and serene by using these analytics and clear communication. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, Time Doctor helps you get better, and gives you peace of mind with productivity analytics for distributed teams. So, thank you for joining, and hopefully, we can help you get better together. Goodbye.
Bye for now.